think we apologise a bit too much as British people. Yeah, they need to calm down a little bit, Americans. They get very excitable over shit they shouldn't do. They don't understand what a cup of tea is. Long live having a pint at 5 bells in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dyer, and this is how you become a true fucking Brit.
Danny, you are taking on the British test today. We've done it with a few Yanks, and I think you are the ultimate British man to do this test. What do you think it is to be British?
What is it to be British? I think for me, nostalgia. I was brought up in the East End during the 80s. And you sort of men were men, whatever the fuck that means. I was brought up by very, very strong matriarchs, women, East London women. But, you know, that's the great thing about, you know, Britain, you know, the diversity of it all. I think we apologise a bit too much as British people. I think that needs to stop a little bit, you know. I don't know, at the moment it's hard to define anything, you know. Everything's all up in the air, a lot of division in the world, a lot of hatred. We're living in the age of hate. Everyone wants to hate some fucker. Cup of tea's important, of course, and, you know, fish and chips, pie mash, that sort of stuff. Seafood, I think, is quite a British thing. On a beach, you know, with the sea lapping up nappies and tampons, you know. A cup of tea is very important, you're right.
If we could we get you to make the perfect
cup of tea? Well, being from East London, I mean, Yorkshire tea, I mean, the Northerners would argue that, oh, that's green tea, I don't want nothing to do with that. Well, I've got to go Yorkshire tea because it's the only ones you got, I suppose.
Which one, what would you be your brand of choice?
Probably go a bit of PG. So, boom, you put your, my nan used to, you know, do it the old school with teapot. Not with tea leaves, obviously. I mean, she weren't that old. But, you know, teapots have never been my thing.
What do you think of the layout in front of you? Because the Americans love a microwave for their brew.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but I don't know what all this is about, really. I mean, a cup of tea is very simple. You get your tea bag, you whack it in there, and then just put your hot water in.
So what do you think?
Gotta let it sit.
What do you think to when we had Seth Rogen on, topped it with whipped cream? Just American.
Yeah, I think he needs a bit of therapy, the geezer. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, it's just not a thing over there, is it? They don't understand what a cup of tea is. I'll tell you what Britishness is. Fish and chips with a cup of tea. I mean, that sounds mad, but the idea of eating your fish and chips with a cup of tea is the one for me. I mean, why would you have this on the table? I mean, is this what Americans would do? I mean, what would you use a ladle for?
We're being harsh, we just wanted to confuse them.
You're never going to confuse me, son. Oh, I mean, what the fuck?
So you go to a house, they start making you a brew, they put the microwave on. What's the scenario there?
I think I'd probably slip off, get myself an Uber, because it makes no sense. You put the tea bag in first. That's what I do. That's how I was taught. I like a strong cup of tea, and I know some people are very different. Some people leave the tea bag in. That's always a nutty one. I like my cup of tea. It should be the same colour as a Werther's original. Is that a British thing, Werther's?
Oh yeah.
Love a Werther's. Interesting Werther's, because when I do a play, you know when it's a matinee and it's all the old lot in, the old girls sitting in the front row folding the kit, but you get a hit of Werther's as you walk out on the stage. It's like, oh, it makes you faint. Although I like the smell of it. So I'd leave the tea bag in as long as possible, and then rinse the life out of it. Some people use the tea bag again, didn't they? And I get that. We live in a world of food banks, which is bollocks, but we're not going to get political. No milk on the table.
So you would finish it off with some milk if we had it there?
I'd have a little splash of milk. Like I said, it's got to be the same colour as a Werther's. I would just dip it in there like that, just to give it just a little bit of something, you know what I mean? You got no milk on the table for some reason. I have been known to have tea without milk and all. I think the Turkish do that, didn't they? They do a nutty
love a tea without milk.
They do a nutty tea.
Well, they take it more seriously than us.
Yeah, they do. But they pour it from great heights and all that. You ain't got time for all that bollocks. So yeah, that would be me, you know.
I feel like you like that in the pub as well. If there was cocktail making, just pour us a pint.
Yeah, mate, come on. Fucking about, you know, throwing that thing up in the air and making loads of noise. Just give me a booze, mate. Lively. I've had a tough day. I'll leave all this bollocks for the Americans, the ground cinnamon.
What would your message be to the Americans who just don't get tea?
Yeah,
don't get it.
Yeah, they need to calm down a little bit, Americans. They get very excitable over shit they shouldn't do. Leave the tea alone. It ain't your game. I know they love a cup of hot coffee. You know, they're obsessed with it, aren't they? They have these weird percolators and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But they drink coffee all day. I do like a coffee. I'm an espresso man. So I like to cut out the middleman and just go straight to the brain cells. I drink coffee for a reason. That's to stimulate me. I don't want to suck on a latte for half hour. I just can't be fucked. I don't want too much coffee, you know what I mean? So for me, double espresso, sometimes with a bit of sugar in it. Boom, get it down, yeah, get on with your day.
It's the new generation though, isn't it? Iced latte, man.
But it does work. I've just got me through many jobs. You know, when you're a bit low and you just need that little boost. If you drink too many, you know a good place and a good coffee shop and you start getting the shakes. I like the shakes. I like the old art going, do you know what I mean? Because it's legal.
I was going to say, that's a new improved cheer,
it's a legal way of getting that old art beating, you know what I mean? So stimulants all day long as they're legal. So that will be my cup of tea, sunshine. I'm still very much, even though I've earned a few quid, a working class kid. And I think the films I make, like Marching Powder, are representing the working class, and we're not the elite trying to make a working class film for the elite. I recently found out that 7% of people in the arts are working class, which is fucking outrageous and disgusting. The working classes are going through a very tough time at the moment, and they need to be represented in the right way, and they need to have a belief and feel that they can, you know, the arts is for everybody. And it has become quite elitist. We need to get these young kids, you know, watching stuff that they go, I think I could do that, instead of running around, you know, sort of attacking each other, stabbing each other. There's a lot of violence in the air. They're very disenfranchised at the moment, and they need to believe that they can be somebody. And we're not making films for the BAFTA mob. We're making it for a generation of people, and I think that it's very authentic and it's real, and that's why it's a bit sweary. But working class people do swear, not all. You know, but most of them do, and you know, we speak in a certain way, and it's all that. You know, the word "cunt" is a word that people avoid, but you know, in the film especially, it's a term of endearment, and it sounds awful and weird and odd, but it's the truth. And I was brought up by very strong women that said the word "cunt," not in an aggressive way. I have learnt later on that there's certain circles that I can't use that word, and I get it. I get it. I understand it. So it's not for everybody, but actually, it's not a word you should shy away from. And especially at the moment when people are just sort of ticking boxes and are frightened of, you know, making anything slightly controversial. Being working class certainly shouldn't be controversial. Mm. So, you know, this film, Marching Powder, is a love story between working class people. It's Bridget Jones with the word cunt.
So, going to give you some cue cards. The
Wonderful.
first one is British sayings, Danny, and you just need to guess what these British sayings mean. And they're not obviously from your neck of the woods.
No, they ain't.
So I'm
no.
interested to know how you actually get on with this.
Okay,
one.
so it is, it is. I don't know what the fuck that is. It is.
Do you want a clue where it's from?
Go on.
Devon.
Devon.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, no one goes to Devon anymore. Good gaff, Devon. Beautiful beaches. I don't know what that is. What is it?
That means here it is. Here it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Snishams.
Devon again.
Snishams. Now, there's a saying in London which is nishmans. You'd say nish, which means no or nothing. Nitto's another one. Nitto, which means the old bill are coming. Snishams. What area is this?
Devon again. And this
What,
is
what
not...
the fuck are we on? This is all Devon.
There's two more and they're not Devon, no.
Okay, so snish. I don't know what that is either.
Do you want me to use it in a context as well?
Snishams. Well, yeah.
Just had an allergic reaction. I've had snishams.
Come out in like pimples or in hives or something. Snishams. I've had an allergic reaction.
Sneezing.
For fuck's sake. I suppose this is what people like with Cockney rhyming slang, isn't they?
The thing is, though, do you reckon it's possible to sound hard when you're from Devon with those two sayings?
No, I don't think there's anyone hard in Devon. They're very kind, considerate people, I would think, and you know, they're all surfers. You know, they're brought up with the waves. You know, and nice beaches. Some of the beaches in Devon are better than the ones abroad. Isna. Isna. That sounds Scottish to me.
It is.
Isna. Isna. Isn't it? Isn't it? Isna. Isna.
You sound mank. Isn't
Isna. Yeah, that does sound a bit. I thought it would be isn't it? So I don't
close.
know.
Is not.
Is not.
Isn't.
Isna. Disna. Disna. This is bollocks. This is gadgy. Gadgy. Give me the manor. What manor is it?
Newcastle.
God, I can't do fucking Newcastle. I can barely speak fucking English. Gadgy. Gadgy.
Have you heard Radji?
Gadgy. No, I don't know what Radji is either.
Never watched Geordie Shore?
Gadgy. No, darling. No, not for me. Not for me.
What a shame.
A lot of people noshing each other off and that, and it's... I remember Robson Green had the ump over it once. I remember reading an interview and he felt that it was really sort of detrimental to the Newcastle people, but clearly people love it. Gadgy could mean, come here.
Gadgy.
Fuck off.
It means, if I was to say, oh, he's a gadgy.
He's a nice geezer. He's a gadgie.
It just means adult male.
It means now explain to me what that means, adult male. Gadgie. A gadgie. So is this on it a lot, that Geordie Shore, that gadgie? They say gadgie.
They say radgie as well.
And they say that's for a treacle, is it?
I think so.
Gadgie and radgie.
It's just like you saying treacle, I suppose.
Suppose it is. Treacleitis. The point of Cockney slang is really it was to be able to talk in front of the old bill being the police, and them not understand, or being in prison and talking what the screws can't understand you. So, I mean, a Roger Hunt, it would be a cunt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be Burke. I suppose what you're saying. Look, the thing about the word cunt is that you can use it in any context. It doesn't have to be detrimental to someone. I understand that the feminists in the room will hate that word because we feel like we're talking about someone's anatomy. But you can say, I'm off me cunt. I feel like I'm off me cunt. You know, come here, you little cunt, I love you. You know, that sort of thing. I'm cunted as well, that's another one. You know, you can use it in many different ways, so it doesn't have to be, you know, someone is a cunt. The next one, Jack and Danny, obviously marching powder, which is a play on words. My name's Jack in it, my wife's called Danny. Which was a bit weird when I first read it because obviously my daughter Danny was in Love Island and she got with a guy called Jack. So that was a bit odd. I did fight it, but it didn't work out for me. So Jack and Danny is fanny. Fanny being another word that I think not for the feminists, but doesn't have to be about their body. Someone can be a fanny. Which again, slightly misogynistic. You know, this is a kettle. So you would say kettle and hob, fob, watch. That's a long-winded one. But you would say, especially if you're selling them, I've got some Jekyll kettles, which Jekyll and Hyde is snide. So Jekyll kettles, you know, they're not real watches, basically. I think it's dying out, slang, which is a real shame. I think that I say it because my dad said it a lot and I was around it, sitting in working man clubs growing up and people using it, and it sort of rubs off on you. I've now got very privileged children because obviously I've earned a few quid, so I took them out of a council estate. I took them around my area recently because I go back and see a few people and they won't get out of the car. New generations come through and, you know, they've got different twang to their accents and stuff. So, you know, I'm all for it for sure, but I think my generation's probably the last breed to say it. This one, yeah, butchers, have a butchers. I say have a pipe, and it doesn't rhyme with anything, just have a pipe at this, that's what I would say. But butcher's hook is look, have a butcher's at this, have a butcher's at that, you know, butcher's hook to look. That is quite a common one, a very old school Victorian one as well, I would have thought. I quite like, which is could be deemed as a new age one, is that, you know, when you stop and have a bit of Brady, which is Brady bunch lunch, you know, what's for Brady, you know what I mean? I quite like that one, that's quite a smooth one. Okay, so someone offers you a cuppa, but as you watch them make it, they put the milk in first. Do you A, not say anything and accept the drink, B, kick off royally and call him a slag, or C, demonstrate how to do it properly? I wouldn't kick off royally. I mean, there's bigger shit going on in the world, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't call him a slag. I'll probably demonstrate how to do it properly. I'd say, any chance we can go again on this tea? We'll keep the tea bag, don't want to waste them, and then I would do it my way because it's a weird one, putting the milk in first. I don't understand it. It's just weird, isn't it? I wouldn't be that polite. It depends as well, you know. If it was
I think you can have A or C.
Can I have A or C? I think I would, because if it's an old girl who's been doing it for years and I'm round her gaff, I don't know why I'm there. You know, she does it, then I would absolutely accept her a cup of tea.
You wouldn't just push her out of the way and
No, I wouldn't. I'd be respectful to her and I'd probably put the lips on her. Someone has just walked into you and it's their fault. Do you not say anything, knock 10 bells of shit out of them, or apologise for being an obstacle? I wouldn't apologise if someone's banged into me. I would pipe at them, I'll have a butcher's at them probably. See what sort of reaction I get and then probably knock 10 bells of shit out of them if they wanted to square up. And you never know on the streets today. So if someone's smashed into me and it's their fault, then you certainly don't apologise, and too many Brits do. So that's probably the answer I should give to be British. Oh, sorry. You know, we apologise about apologising, don't we? So depending on the confrontation, I wouldn't say anything. I'd sort of pipe at them, see what reaction I get, and then if it goes off, and then just stick the nut on them.
See, I feel like I'm learning so much because I'm very much a British yourself. Sorry about that, mate. Just be on with my day.
It depends, doesn't it? Again, on the, you know, if it's someone sort of taking the piss, you've got to stand up for yourself. There's not enough of that. You know what I mean? It's usually people on the blower, because everyone now walks around like that, don't they, like zombies. This technological age is killing us as a society. It's killing our kids. We don't interact anymore. We don't engage anymore. Everyone's an avatar. We can't go back on it now. It's fucking sad. It's 5 bells in the morning, 5 a.m, and you're at the airport waiting for a flight. Do you, A, get a pint, B, catch up on some reading, or C, try and get a nap in? A, get a pint. Why is it we're allowed, and I love it, why are we allowed to have a fucking ice cold pint before a flight? Doesn't matter. There is no time in an airport. There is something about airport stress I don't like. It's quite a stressful thing. I've flown many, many times, but you always worry about your passport, and you always feel a bit digi when you're in an airport for some reason. You know, you're fucking like that. You're looking at a board fucking 20 times. You know, you're only flying to Dublin. You know, there's a panic. There's an element of panic. I don't know why. So it's always important to suck on a couple of pints. The first one always goes down beautifully, though.
Such a good
Especially
pint.
at sort of 5 in the morning. It's amazing, isn't it? You've had 2 hours kip. But and everyone's doing it. You're looking at, you're not odd.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a few people judging you a little bit, but it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but fuck them. They're the minority, to be fair, aren't they? So, you know, you walk down the street 5 a.m. in the morning with a can of Tennent's in your hand, you're going to get some looks. But, you know, an airport, you're celebrated, and so it should be. Long live having a pint of 5 bells in the morning.
That is Britain.
It is, and it's fucking great. Not much to cling on to, but that's one of them.
Danny, you know what? I'm going to give you a pass in terms of being a true Brit.
I'd like to think so,
you
mate.
Smashed every single one, and to commemorate the occasion, we've got you a Joe British passport now.
Thank you very well, Yella.
Yeah, you've now got 2 passports.
This is amazing. The United Kingdom, Great Britain, Northern Ireland, the British test, I've passed it. It's one of my greatest achievements, and I've achieved a lot in my life. But that's up there, so thank you very much.
You are a man of the British people.
Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.